Hi, greetings to you. My name is McDaniel-Lee, and I decided to do a lesson plan for my project 3 over the life cycle of a pumpkin. Seeing that it is fall, I thought what a fun topic to discuss. So let's dig into it. The title, of course, is the life cycle of a pumpkin. Our audience will be kindergarten students. Our objective is students will be able to identify and discuss the life cycle of a pumpkin. So I will first start off the lesson by presenting a KWL chart. For those of my students who are not familiar with the KWL chart, I will simply explain that the K means that things that they already know about the life cycle of a pumpkin, or maybe just a pumpkin in general. Once I give them, I will allow them 5 minutes to kind of brainstorm about the things that they know about a pumpkin or the life cycle of a pumpkin. And then after that, I would allow them to raise their hands to be called upon to so we could fill in that little part of the chart where it indicates what they already know. The W, I would explain that it means what they want to know about the life cycle of a pumpkin. So again, I will repeat that step, have the students to think about it for maybe 5 minutes, what they will want to know, and have students to raise their hands to be called upon so that we will fill in that little part of our chart. I would then explain to them the L, what the L means, which means the things that they have learned about the life cycle of a pumpkin. So I would explain to them that we won't actually be able to fill in that part until we kind of get into the lesson and kind of retain some information about the topic. So once we learn something about the life cycle of a pumpkin, then we'll be able to come back and fill in the L part. So after all of that, after we fill in the K and the W, I will call the students from their table spots to their learning spots on the carpet, where we will be reading a book called The Tiny Seed. The Tiny Seed will basically cover the phases of the pumpkin, the phases of the life cycle of a pumpkin. And so once we go through the book and once we go through, I will kind of stop and explain what each picture means. Once we get through the end of the book, I would kind of discuss with students about what they learned and the things that they saw, and kind of have them to explain the life cycle of a pumpkin and what each of those little pictures meant in the book. Once we kind of discuss it and I feel like they have gotten a clear understanding as to what had been taught, we can go back and fill in the L part. So I would have students again to raise their hand, or I would kind of call on some people, since we all read the book and we all should have retained something from the book. I would kind of call on students to fill in that L part. Once we get through the L part of our KWL chart, for our activity, I would pass out a worksheet where the students will be cutting and pasting. They will be cutting pictures of the different phases of the life cycle and put them in order correctly. Once they get done putting them in order correctly, I would then have them to go into small groups and work with each other and explain to each other what each phase meant in the life cycle, like what each of those phases mean, and just trying to make sure they understood all of the different phases. For our review, we'll just go over the KWL chart, the things that they knew, the things that they wanted to know, and the things that they have learned, and kind of make sure that they understood what the life cycle of a pumpkin was all about. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Bye-bye.